Let's move on to working with time fields. Just like using calculations with date fields, we can also do the same with time fields. All of the same principles apply, so let's get straight onto it and look at some examples. In these examples, we'll have a look at the fictitious employee clocking in and clocking out times. So first of all, we're going to declare the two times, clock in and clock out. So back up to our data section. Let's create a new little block. Just make it a little easier to read. So let's declare a clock in. And a clock out time. And while we're at it, let's declare some more. Let's do a seconds. So this is going to hold the difference in time in seconds. May help if I spell it right. As you might guess, we'll do a minutes and an hours. Line it up just so it looks a bit easier to read, and we'll do the same over here. A bit easier on the eye. Now go down to the code. And let's start filling some of these fields with values. So our clock in time, let's equal 7:30. And we'll equal 4 o'clock in the afternoon for the clock out. And then let's work out the difference in seconds. Let's see if I got everything correct. Almost missed off the S. There we go. And finally, let's write out. We'll make it a bit more descriptive, eh? There we go, that should do it. So we're going to write out a bit of text to say the clock in time was, and then the clock in, the clock out time was, then the clock out, and then shows the difference in seconds. I do apologise, I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't know why I've made the seconds diff equal this. This should be a calculation. So let's amend that before we run it. So this is clock out minus clock in. There we go. So this should be 1600 hours minus 0730, giving us the difference in seconds. Pretty it up. See if I made any mistakes. There's a bonus. Now we'll test it. So there we can see clock in time, clock out, and the difference is 30,600 seconds. Now, is that correct? Let's have a look. So we have 8 hours and 30 minutes. So 8 times 60 plus 30 times 60 is 30,600 seconds. Let's now continue and work out the minutes difference and the hours difference. So it's a simple calculation for the minutes. Remember, you must save your precious fingers, so copy and paste as much as you can. All we need to do is reference our seconds. And divide by 60. So now we should see 33,600 seconds divided by 60, giving us, I can't remember what that calculation was, 510 was it? Something like that. Then we'll write out the difference in minutes this time. And while we're at it, let's do the hours calculation. And why not pretty it all up? Okay, pretty printer. We'll do a check to see if I made any mistakes. And it looks like I did. So what did I call hours diff? Okay, I made a mistake up here by the looks of things. There we go, just one S. Okay, everything is good this time. So now let's test. Oh, no doubt you've seen the mistake. Here we want to output the minutes, not the seconds. I guess this is what happens when you copy and paste too much. Okay. Test it out this time. There we go. So seconds, 30,600, minutes, 510, and hours, 9. And I see I even made the spelling mistake there too. So, if we had 510 minutes difference, and the hours wasn't 9 exactly. But can you see why we were given 9 as the answer? Hopefully you recognise that the hours diff was an integer. If we'd have made it a packed decimal, we would have got a decimal result, giving us 8.5 hours difference. But because it was an integer, it was rounded up to 9. You want to check it out? Let's change that integer to a decimal. So what we need to do is move to the data declaration part, and where we have an integer, let's change it to a packed decimal. And remember, we need to specify how many decimal places we want. We'll put 2. Everything looks good. We'll activate it and then test it out. And as you can see, the results now is 8.5 hours.